at 4:59 p.m. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Warren and Rob. All in favor? Thank you. Anybody see anything they want to move from the consent agenda to the regular? I don't think. Jenna and I looked at it this afternoon. I don't think there was just some reports and stuff, nothing that I would consider necessary. We'll move on to 2.2, that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves to adopt the agenda for the April 26, 2021 regular meeting of Council as presented, and that a copy of this agenda be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Need a mover and a second. Andy, Gary? All in favor? Carried. Anybody see anything they have a conflict of interest with? I know that Councillor Baker did have, but he is away today anyways, so we don't have to worry about that. And 4.1, that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 5 p.m., that the regular meeting of Council be adjourned to a confidential in-camera meeting. Mover, seconder, please. Warren, Rob, all in favor? Carried. Is concluded and the regular meeting of Council is resumed. I need a mover and a seconder. Randy, Gary. All in favor? Thank you. Okay. Agenda item 6.1, that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves to approve as presented the minutes from the April 12th, 2021 regular meeting of Council, and that these minutes be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. I need a mover and a seconder again, please. Warren, Rob. All in favor? Thank you. Okay. Agenda item 7.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley approve the discretionary use application for discretionary use at the residence of 108 Fifth Avenue West, on the condition that it complies with the development standards of discretionary use pursuant to Section 4, Sub 11, 3, 1 to 9 of Zoning Bylaws 0414, and on the condition that the applicant obtains a business license from the town prior to operation and every year of operation, and that if any of the conditions outlined above are not met for this proposed discretionary use, then the permit may not be approved and or may be revoked. Deputy Administrator Kim, could you speak on that, please?
Sure. So we received a discretionary use application for a home-based business located at 108 Fifth Avenue West. It's for a clothing design business. We did send out the notices to the 75-meter radius around this property, and we didn't receive any negative feedback. And it meets all the requirements within the zoning bylaw, so we don't see any reason why we wouldn't proceed with this application.
Any questions, Council? Seeing none, could I get a mover and seconder, please? Randy? Oops, can't find you. Second? Warren? All in favor? Thank you. And agenda item 7.2, that the Council of Town of Kindersley approve the discretionary use application for a discretionary use at the residence of 118 4th Avenue West, on the condition that it complies with the development standards of discretionary use pursuant to Section 4, Sub 11, 3, 1 to 9 of Zoning Bylaw 0414, on the condition that the applicant obtains a business license from the town prior to operation and every year of operation, and that if any of the conditions outlined above are not met for this proposed discretionary use, then the permit may not be approved and/or may be revoked. Kim, could you comment on that, please?
Sure. So this is a discretionary use application. It's for a home-based business located at 118 4th Avenue West. It's for bookkeeping services. Again, we sent the notice to the 75-meter radius around this property. We didn't receive any negative feedback, and it's meeting all the requirements within our zoning bylaw for a home-based business.
Okay. Any questions, council? Not, could I have someone move and second that? Rob? Second, Gary? All in favor? Gary, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item 7.3, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to accept the recommendation of the Adjudication Committee and award Luck Plumbing and Heating and Electric Ltd. as a successful bidder for the West Central Events Center dehumidifier project as per the submitted tender, and that the Mayor and CAO are directed to enter into an agreement in the amount of $143,437 plus applicable taxes. CAO Audrey, any comments?
Yeah, so we did an RFT for the dehumidifier for the EC side of the West Central Event Center. This dehumidifier is to go into conjunction with the smaller one that we already have there because we have a humidity problem in there. We had two submitted proposals for the end, and the adjudication committee met, and Luck was the successful proponent after the adjudication.
Any questions, council? Comments? Whatever? Seeing none, I need a mover and a seconder then, please. Warren, Randy? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, this is the one that, agenda item 7.4, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley directs administration to distribute approved funding to the following applicants from the Community Grant Program 2021 Spring Intake. Kindersley Legion, they're all $750. Kindersley Legion, Kindersley and District Library, Kindersley Chamber of Commerce, Pathways to Wellness, the Walking Trail Committee, Kindersley Curling Rink, the Kindersley Food Bank, Westbury School, and the Canadian Fallen Heroes. Total allocation of $6,750. This was adjudicated by Councillor Becker, myself, and Chelsea Omnis, our scheduling clerk. And any questions on that, council? These are submitted applications, and they will be required follow-up on them later, is there? No, maybe there isn't on these, just in case.
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of follow-up.
A little bit of follow-up on them, but most of them had a definite project they were allocating these funds to. Any questions on that, council? If not, I need a mover seconder, please, for that. Warren and Rob and Warren. All in favor? Thanks. Okay. Agenda item 7.5, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley acknowledges the drinking water quality and compliance report for the Town of Kindersley water supply system and treatment plant 2020 notice to consumer, which has been submitted to the Water Security Agency in accordance with the Waterworks and Sewage Works Regulations 2015, as attached to informing part of these minutes. Deputy Administrator Kim, could you comment on that, please?
Sure. So this is a requirement with our permit with Water Security Agency. So this is our 2020 notice to consumers. So this has to be posted publicly for all our residents, community to see. So we do have it located on our website. We have it in our town office for viewing, as well as the water treatment plant for viewing. So basically what this does is it has a recap of 2020. It shows all of our testing results in different areas. With our permit, we're required to do a certain number of samples. So it outlines how many samples we did, or how many samples were required, how many were completed, and the status of all of those. We did pass in all areas. There wasn't anything that that didn't meet regulations. And so basically this is just Kindersley's drinking water quality and compliance report. And if anybody has any questions on that, they can easily contact the town office or the water treatment plant for more clarification.
Thank you. Council, any questions from you? If not, I'll have a mover and a seconder to adopt that report, please. Gary, and who's there, Rob? All in favor? Down a couple of councillors tonight, so you have to vote a little more often. Sorry for the inconvenience. Agenda item 8.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to accept as submitted the list of accounts as paid by the Town of Kindersley in the amount of $398,768.01.
Did you not have a 7.6?
7 point what?
7.6? The airport?
No, I don't. We'll do 8.1 and then we'll go back to 7.6. If I
Do
can.
you have
somebody-
7.7?
No,
Well, there is no resolution for 7.6. Here.
I don't have either one of them. You have it on here. Oh, there was 7.6. Okay, we'll do 7.6 first, then my apologies. No, I'm not going to apologize, I didn't have it. I don't have 7.7 either.
There is no resolution for that one.
It'll come.
Yeah.
7.6, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to direct the Mayor and CAO to enter into a community airport partnership agreement with the Minister of Highways for 2021 upgrades at the Kindersley Regional Airport. Kim?
Sure. So I applied under the Community Airport Partnership Program with the Ministry of Highways, and it's for, I applied for just over $73,000 project, and it's for upgrading the runway lighting and also crack sealing of the airport, of the pavement out there. And so we were approved, and what the grant does is it pays 50%. So basically, they will be funding us $36,715 for that project. So this resolution is just entering into the agreement with the Ministry of Highways.
Okay. Any questions? Not, again, I need a mover and a seconder, please. Rob and Warren. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And 7.7, financial report. CAO Audrey.
Okay, so not a lot on there. We're just kind of at March. The budget on there, of course, is just the proposed preliminary budget right now, as it's not passed yet. So it's just what we have in there right now. So those numbers will change, or can change, or might change. So the only really big one right now that's largely glaring, of course, is requisitions, and that's because we've paid our summer requisitions. So otherwise, you know, we should be about 20-25% of the budgets, except for the ones that are, you know, like parks and, or not parks, but like playgrounds and stuff that are just starting a lot of their big work and stuff. So yeah.
Any questions, Council? Not. We don't have a resolution on that, so let's ask for a vote. We'll move on now to agenda item 8.1, is that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves to accept as submitted the list of accounts as paid by the Town of Kindersley and in the amount of $398,768.01, and that a copy of said accounts be attached to and form a part of the minutes of this meeting. Do you have any queries on that at all, Audrey?
Not that I saw, no.
Actually, about 100,000 of it is for, 92,000 is for a new backhoe. And our waste management, our utilities, and our water treatment plant, nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever, I don't think. Could I have a mover and seconder for that, please? Randy, Gary? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Now the work begins. Got a few proclamations here. Agenda item 9.1, whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are vital and important to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Kindersley. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential to our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Saskatchewan to gain knowledge of and to maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2021 marks the 61st annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association. Therefore, I, Mayor Rod Perkins, do hereby designate the week of May 16th to the 22nd as National Public Works Week in the town of Kindersley, and that the Council of the town of Kindersley encourages all residents to join in activities, events, and ceremonies designated to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life. We'll comment that typically over the last few years we have cooked a lunch for the mayor and council, go and cook a lunch for the public works employees, but unfortunately with the COVID situation being the way it is, this is not going to work. So we do thank them very much for the work they do for us. It's very, very hard and demanding work sometimes, especially when it's cold and when the snow is 1.5 feet deep on Main Street. We need to appreciate them. So I would ask that a mover and seconder join me in thanking them. Gary and second Warren. Thank you. All in favor? Okay. Agenda item 9.2, whereas the Council of the Town of Kindersley recognized the importance of the Workers' Mourning Day Act as passed by the Government of Canada, and whereas the Town of Kindersley Council and Administration seek earnestly to set an example of their commitment to the to the issue of health and safety in the workplace, and whereas each year on April 28th we pay respect to and remember the workers who have been killed, injured, or suffered illness as a result of work-related incidents, while also renewing the commitment to workplace health and safety. Therefore, I, Mayor Rod Perkins, do hereby proclaim in the town of Kindersley that April 28, 2021 be recognized as a day of mourning for persons killed and injured in the workplace, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley encourages all business owners, workers, and residents to actively participate in educating themselves on workplace safety. Can I have a mover and second, please? Randy, Gary? All in favor? Thank you. Agenda item 9.3. Whereas the Council of the Town of Kindersley recognizes the importance of emergency management in Saskatchewan, and whereas the goal of Emergency Preparedness Week is to raise community awareness regarding the needs for residents to take ownership for personal preparation in the face of a possible emergency. Therefore, I, Mayor Rod Perkins, do hereby proclaim the week of May 2nd to the 8th, 2021 to be Emergency Preparedness Week in the town of Kindersley, and that the Council of the town of Kindersley encourages all residents to participate in educating themselves on emergency preparedness by downloading early warning apps, preparing to shelter in place, and remaining aware of developing situations in the community. I have a mover and a seconder, please. Warren, Bob, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Only one more, I think. Better check.
Yes, good.
Is that it? Okay, agenda item 9.4, whereas the Council of the Town of Kindersley recognizes that the 2021 Volunteer Week theme is the value of one, the power of many. And whereas volunteers mentor our children, feed our hungry, comfort our lonely, beautify our green spaces, and fundraise for our charitable organizations. And whereas volunteers have stepped up during the COVID-19 pandemic to support families, friends, neighbors, strangers, people standing up to systemic racism, and people sharing insights on how to create a more just and equitable society. And whereas volunteers are young, old, families, workers, retirees, men and women of all ages and backgrounds, and whereas the collective result of the work done by our volunteers is that the town of Kindersley is a more desirable place to live. And therefore, I, Mayor Rod Perkins, do hereby proclaim that April 18th to the 24th, 2021 was National Volunteer Week, and that Council encourages all residents to continue thanking volunteers and to support the fine organizations in our community by becoming a volunteer. Need a mover and a second, please. Gary, Rob, Warren, Randy, I should say. All in favor? Gary. Agenda item 10.1, that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves to approve the consent agenda, which includes the following items for acceptance and filing. It's a report from the Chamber of Commerce, Sask Water monthly report, annual vegetation management program, FAQ, and annual vegetation management program letter. Mover seconder, please. Randy. Rob, all in favor? Okay, and 11.1, that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 7:38 p.m., the regular meeting of council be adjourned to a confidential in-camera meeting. Mover seconder, please. Warren. All in favor? Meeting is concluded and the regular meeting of council is resumed. I need a mover and a seconder. Rob and Warren. All in favor? Carried. Any business arising from the in-camera session, council? Seeing none, the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves that all business having been concluded, the April 26, 2021 regular meeting of council will be adjourned at 8:34 p.m. Mover seconder, Randy, Gary. All in favor? Carried. Thank you.